All right, buckle up, everybody. We are diving deep today
Into the drama.
into the DeFi drama.
Yeah, the DeFi drama.
That's right.
That's got the whole crypto world kind of losing their minds a little bit right now.
It's true. Lots of opinions flying around out there.
Yeah, and
This is Polygon we're talking about.
Polygon and
Stablecoins.
yeah, and
A whole lot of money.
a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
So we're going to break it down for you today.
What's been happening?
Yeah, in our deep dive.
The Polygon ecosystem. That's right.
And
So Polygon, just to back up a little bit, is a layer 2 scaling solution
for Ethereum.
for Ethereum. That's right.
So it allows people to do transactions faster and cheaper than they can on the main Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah. Makes it a little more user-friendly.
Yeah, it's a good way to think about it.
So they've got this proposal that's really stirring things up.
Yeah, and it has to do with their stablecoin reserves.
We've got a lot of them.
They have like $1.3 billion.
Billion, that's right. Worth of USDC, USDT, and DAI just sitting there.
Doing nothing. They're just sitting there on their proof of stake bridge.
Yeah, in their POS bridge, they call it.
So
And they have this idea, right?
this big idea, this bold idea,
Yes.
let's put this money to work.
They want to make some money.
They want to earn some
They'll
yield.
make that money make money.
Exactly.
Right.
They're like, why are we just letting this sit here?
Exactly. It's just sitting there.
Let's put it into DeFi protocols.
Like, what is DeFi even?
DeFi stands for decentralized finance. So
No.
this is the whole world of lending and borrowing and trading on the
Yes.
blockchain, but without banks.
No banks involved?
No intermediaries. It's all peer-to-peer.
Interesting.
So what Polygon wants to do is take these stable coins,
That 1.3 billion,
that big pile of cash,
put it into these things called vaults
vaults,
that are managed by these DeFi platforms.
like Morpho.
Morpho and Yearn.
Yeah.
These are like big names in the DeFi space.
These are the big players, yeah.
And the idea is that these vaults, they generate yield
They're like little money-making machines.
through all sorts of complicated strategies.
It gets pretty technical, but basically they're lending out the stable coins.
Oh, so they're like the bank in this case.
Well, not exactly. It's all automated
Oh.
and decentralized, remember?
Right. No banks.
But yeah, they're putting that money to work and earning interest on it.
And Polygon is saying they could earn like $70 to $91 million annually.
That's their estimate.
That's a lot of dough.
It's a lot of dough, so they're thinking, hey, we can use that money to further develop the Polygon ecosystem.
Yeah, make it even better.
Yeah, attract more users, more developers.
Fun new projects.
Sounds like a pretty sweet deal, right?
On the surface, it sounds great.
But of course, there's always a catch.
There's always a but.
And in this case, the but is Aave.
Of.
Aave is a major DeFi lending platform.
They're huge.
It's massive, and they have a big presence on Polygon.
They're like the bank that we were just talking about.
Kinda, yeah, but again, decentralized.
Right, of course. DeFi. Got to remember that.
And Eliv is not happy about this proposal.
Not happy at all.
Not one bit.
They actually proposed pulling out of Polygon entirely.
Completely, yeah. They said, if you do this, we're out of here.
So it's like a breakup.
It's a DeFi breakup.
And the reason they're breaking up is because of security concerns.
They're worried about the risks involved.
I mean, I can see where they're coming from.
You're taking this huge sum of money, $1.3 billion, and you're moving it off of this secure bridge.
The POS bridge.
And you're putting it into these DeFi protocols, which, let's be honest, have been hacked before.
That's true. There have been some pretty high-profile hacks in the DeFi space,
So Eliv is saying, look, you're increasing the attack surface.
making it a bigger target for hackers.
Exactly. And if something goes wrong,
If one of those vaults gets exploited,
it could destabilize the whole bridge.
which could affect all the users on Polygon.
That's the worry.
And Eliv is also concerned about something called bad debt.
Right. So what happens if those yield-generating strategies don't work out as planned?
Like if the market crashes or something.
Exactly. There's a risk that Polygon could lose some of that money.
And that could create a hole in the system,
A big hole.
potentially leading to instability and potentially harming users.
That's the fear. Anyway,
So Avis is basically saying, Polygon, you're being reckless with everyone's money.
pretty much, yeah. They're not mincing words.
But couldn't Polygon argue that the potential rewards are worth the risk?
They could, and some people in the community do believe that.
So there's like a debate going on
A big debate.
about risk versus reward,
Yeah. And who gets to decide?
control versus decentralization.
It's a classic DeFi dilemma.
And to make things even more complicated, Evif also proposed something pretty drastic.
They did. They said, okay, if you're going to do this with the stable coins, we're going to set the loan-to-value ratio for all assets on Polygon to 0.
What does that even mean?
It's a bit technical, but Basically, it means that users wouldn't be able to borrow against their assets on Polygon anymore,
So, like, if I have some crypto locked up in a VA on Polygon,
which you might, yeah.
I normally could use that as collateral to borrow other crypto.
Right, that's how DeFi lending works.
But with a zero LTV, I can't do that anymore.
Nope, your assets are essentially frozen.
That seems pretty extreme.
It is. It's basically a Wave saying, we're going to shut down a big part of DeFi on Polygon if you don't listen to us.
So it's like a power play.
Definitely a power play.
And some people are wondering if there's more to it than just security concerns.
Yeah, there's some speculation going on.
Because remember Morpho.
The platform that Polygon chose to manage those stablecoin vaults,
Right. Well, Morpho is actually a direct competitor to Aave.
they both offer DeFi lending services.
So some people are saying that Aave is maybe just trying to protect their own turf.
Eliminate the competition.
They're like, we don't want Polygon giving our competitor an advantage.
This is the theory, anyway.
So it's not just about security. It's about money and power.
As always in the crypto world.
Right. It always comes back to that.
It seems to, yeah.
So we've got this drama unfolding
This DeFi soap opera.
with Polygon and Asarv and Morpho all caught up in it.
And the Polygon community is right in the middle.
They're the ones who ultimately get to decide.
Right, because Polygon is all about community governance.
They vote on all the big decisions.
That's how DeFi is supposed to work.
So what did the community think about all this?
Well, as you can imagine, they were pretty divided.
Shocker, right?
Some people thought Polygon's proposal was a great idea.
They were like, let's go for it. Let's make some money. Let's grow the ecosystem,
They saw it as a bold move
pushing the boundaries of DeFi,
and potentially bringing in a lot of new users and investment.
which would benefit everyone.
In theory, yes.
But others were more cautious.
They shared Alav's concerns about the risks.
They were like, wait a minute, this is a lot of money we're talking about.
what if something goes wrong?
Who's going to be responsible?
They were worried about the stablecoin holders.
The people who have their USDC, USDT, and DAI sitting on that bridge.
They didn't necessarily sign up for this level of risk.
They didn't consent to having their money used in these risky DeFi strategies.
So it was a real clash of values.
Innovation versus security.
Centralized control versus community governance.
And in the end, the community actually voted to reject Polygon's proposal.
They said, no thanks, we're good.
Wow, that's a pretty big deal.
It is. It shows that the community is not afraid to stand up to even the biggest players in the space.
They're not just going to blindly follow whatever Polygon proposes.
They're thinking for themselves, weighing the risks and rewards,
And ultimately, they decided that this proposal wasn't in their best interest.
which is pretty remarkable when you think about it.
So where does this leave Polygon?
That's the big question.
What are they going to do now?
Well, they could come back with a revised proposal.
Maybe try to address some of the community's concerns.
Perhaps offer more transparency about how the funds would be managed.
Or they could just scrap the whole thing.
And focus on other ways to grow the ecosystem.
It's also interesting to think about what IVE's going to do.
Will they stick to their guns and pull out of Polygon?
Or will they soften their stance now that the proposal has been rejected?
It's all very uncertain.
And how is this going to affect the competition between IVE and Morpho?
Will this give Morpho an advantage?
Or will IVE find a way to maintain their dominance?
It's a fascinating dynamic.
And it's just one example of the kind of drama that's constantly unfolding in the DeFi space.
This whole saga has really highlighted some of the key challenges facing DeFi.
Risk management, governance, the influence of big players.
It's a complex and evolving landscape.
And it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Absolutely.
This deep dive has definitely given me a lot to think about.
Me too. It's been a wild ride.
And it's a reminder that in DeFi, nothing is ever certain.
Except for the drama.
That's always guaranteed.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And until next time, stay tuned.
And stay safe out there in the DeFi world.
Yeah, be careful out there.
Yeah.